Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, reaction to Cam Newton laughing at and demeaning a female reporter at a press conference on Wednesday. Plus, is it time for Ezekiel Elliott and the 2-2 Cowboys to start panicking? And what are the chances LeBron James claims his 5th MVP award this season? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Let's start with Cam Newton. He had a very controversial response to a question from a female Panthers beat writer during his weekly press conference yesterday. Let's take a listen.
Cam, I know you take a lot of pride in seeing your receivers play well. Devin Funchess has seemed to really embrace the physicality of his routes and getting those extra yards. Does that give you a little bit of an enjoyment to see him kind of truck sticking people out there?
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like, it's funny. But fun is coming along, man. This is a big game for him.
The Panthers beat writer Jordan Roderick tweeted, "I don't think it's funny to be a female and talk about routes. I think it's my job." She also said that she talked to Cam after the press conference and he did not apologize. The NFL issued a statement and said Cam's comments were, quote, wrong and disrespectful. Shannon, what's your reaction?
I'm disappointed. It feeds into a old, outdated stereotype that women shouldn't be in a male-dominated field like reporter. And how is she qualified to ask a football question to a professional athlete? For me, Skip, having played in the NFL for 14 years, I didn't know a whole lot of female beat reporters, but Lynn DeBruin did work the beat at the Broncos. Rest her soul, she passed a couple of years ago. I paid her the same respect that I gave Adam Schefter, who came in with me in 1990, Woody Page, Mark Kisler. I gave them the same respect. She asked him a football question. I would assume that if she's in a NFL locker room the 5th week of the season, there's a pretty good chance she's a reporter, and she had to go through probably a more strenuous interview than a male for the simple fact she is a female. And her editor, Skip.
Maybe.
No, ain't no maybe, Skip. For the sake of because we still have this situation. We shouldn't even be discussing this. This should be a non-issue in 2017. And people think, and I get that, a lot of, well, you never played. Okay, just because I never played, does that mean that I can't watch and see and understand what's going on? Skip, she did not ask him, hey, Cam, when Funchess run that skinny post, is it inside leg up in 7 steps or outside leg up in 7 steps? She didn't ask him that. She didn't ask him when Funchess ran the out route, is he 10 rolling to 12 or is he 12 rolling to 14? That's not what she asked. She asked him a football-related question. Says, seems like Devin Funchess is embracing the physicality of his routes.
Now, to me, that's a pretty deep football question.
Hey.
I liked it.
So did I.
It didn't qualify as a dumb question.
No.
And I hear a lot of dumb ones.
Yes. You get a lot more dumb questions, Skip. You know, you get to the Super Bowl, you get a lot of people that's really not reporters. They ask you, what's your favorite color? Will you marry me? And all kind of foolishness. But I would think during the regular season, Skip, it's more, these are people that cover the sport. This young lady and the gentleman that are beat writers, they cover on a day-to-day basis. So, and Cam should be familiar because if I'm not mistaken, she mentioned that she introduced herself to him last year when she started. And Cam still didn't know her name. But that's neither here nor there. You don't have to know everybody's name. But I think there's a certain level of respect that you should give her for the simple fact she's doing her job. She didn't ask him what's the ingredients in ratatouille. I know some people think that's, women, hey, you cook.
You would know the answer to that question.
I like ratatouille.
Right? Yeah.
I don't really like ratatouille, but I just happen to know some of the ingredients that goes into it. Skip, this is sad because you remember in 2012, he also called a female reporter sweetheart. Cam. It's 2017. Women are embracing and getting into male-dominated fields. If you know, I don't know if you follow this, Skip, but for the first time, they had a female that completed the Marine infantry training. So she's going to be, first time, a lady. Give the lady credit, Cam. Don't be disrespectful. It's funny asking. Skip, I could see if she was asking smash concept. Well, Cam, on the smash concept, when you got the guy to run the 5-yard hitch, to hold a corner in cover 2, and you got the smash in, which is a 7 right by. Skip, she wasn't getting all technical like that, Skip. And even if she did, How do you know that she doesn't go home and watch stuff? How do you know that she doesn't have a former professional a football player helping her understand route concepts? How do you know? You're assuming because she's a female, she couldn't possibly know what's going on. She asked him a football-related question. Give her a football-related answer and move on. Hey, say Funch is going home. He's from the Detroit area. Hey, he grew up watching Barry Sanders, watching Megatron. He's going to have family and friends, so he's excited. I'm glad to see. And plus, he's been coming in early. He's worked on his routes before practice, after practice. Keep it like that. But to seem that her asking a question is beneath you answering it because you chuckle like, it's funny. Ain't anything funny. She asked you a football-related question. She deserved a football-related answer without the chuckle and without the taken abackness.
Before I answer Joy's question, if you don't mind, Joy, I would like to hear your thoughts on this before I go.
Well, I think Cam is incredibly immature, which he's exhibited not just in this situation, but throughout his career. It's really disappointing for me. I think that the NFL is better when Cam Newton is playing at his highest level. He's a superstar, he's entertaining, and he brings a factor to the NFL as a black quarterback that is needed.
Right.
And I'm a huge supporter of his. It's disappointing. I mean, you see the reactions to this all the time whenever women's credibility is questioned. To me, it's not surprising. We're going to talk about Terrell Pryor a little bit later on in the show. Things like that don't surprise me. It saddens me, but it doesn't surprise me. So overall, I'm disappointed. I think it's obviously very disrespectful. And she's a beat reporter, so it's a little inside baseball, but that's a person that follows the team every single day. Their job is to write and cover that specific team every day.
This is her second year on the beat.
And she's been there for a year. Now, to not know her name or something, there's a lot of reporters that have to deal with every day. That to me doesn't bother me. It's just his reaction to it is very dismissive. And if he had dismissed all of the reporters, which sometimes athletes do, reporters sometimes get upset with the way that they're treated by athletes, and that's more on us, being maybe sometimes we're a little too sensitive and the athlete is upset. But he singled her out. He reacted to her and specifically said he was laughing because she's a woman asking that question.
About routes.
And there are men in this business who have not played the sport that they cover on any competitive level.
Yeah.
Many.
At all. Many, of course. So it's disrespectful, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I have many friends in the business, and my experience, I've been in the business 10 years. I started as an intern in Miami and sports radio, and I've dealt with it on every level. It's a part of the business, unfortunately, but it's sad to see it on this level. And more importantly, we just don't need this right now, Cam. There is enough going on. Now you have to deal with this. It shows his heart, unfortunately, because you could tell it was a natural reaction to her asking the question.
He did. He revealed himself.
Right. And at this point in his career, you can't use the excuse that he's not used to being around female reporters. Yeah. So it's still where we are. It's 2017. Unfortunately, it's still where we are. But I tell all young women that are getting into the business, they're going to deal with this on some level. You have to carry yourself with respect, care about your reputation. And unfortunately, as a woman, you have to be smarter and better. And you have no room for mistakes or error. And you have to try harder than everyone else in the room. But it's just disappointing.
So just for the record, what's that?
I'm just trying to figure out, Skip. We went from 3 weeks to Cam, what's wrong with Cam, to Cam playing great, winning against the Patriots, to this. Have we ever seen a quarterback
I actually think there's a connection to what you just laid out. I think that's what just happened. But real quick about Joy. I occasionally have to bite my lip on this show in breaks when we have an athlete or an ex-athlete come in and sit down and refer to Joy as honey or sugar or maybe sweetheart. Yeah. And it just grates on my nerves. And I haven't said anything. I've told her I don't like it, and she rolls with it. But just for the record, she grew up in a household with an older brother who's now residing alongside you in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So she gets it, you know? She can talk it, feel it, know it. She knows football. She knows basketball. She knows sports.
Right.
So back to Cam Newton. I'm with you times 10 on disappointment, frustration with, because this man has star power to him.
Yeah.
He has charisma. He has a huge 1,000-watt smile that can light up any room or any stadium. He dabbed 2 years ago, and it just took over the NFL. And it was fun, man. It was fun to watch. Even if I was rooting against him, you couldn't help wait for the dab.
Right.
And he had a whole lot of reasons to dab that year, didn't he?
Yep.
And I want him to get it. And he's now 28 years of age in his 7th NFL season, having won a national championship at Auburn. So he knows the media. He's been dealing with media for a long, long time.
Correct.
And he still doesn't get it. And what frustrates me the most is lack of leadership, whatever those things are, intangibles or skills or whatever. Whatever, you know, I'm over the top. I love Dak Prescott. But what do I love most about him? His leadership abilities. He took over the franchise as a rookie, and he changed the whole culture of it in ways that Cam is still struggling to change in Carolina. And remember, right out of the box as a rookie, he had quotes about, it's too long to read, but there's a big quote in ESPN, the magazine, about how he's a lion and nobody else on the team is a lion. They don't get it. And in the end, he said, I'm just trying to get everybody else on my level. This is 2011. And then he got frustrated after those 2 huge games. Remember, he threw for 422 at Arizona in his first ever NFL game and backed it right up against Aaron Rodgers back in Carolina with 432. And, man, we all thought, whew, this is it.
Yep.
Behold, Cam Newton, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. He's going to revolutionize football. And he did, running the football. And he did win an MVP 2 years ago. But remember the long dry spell in there when he would sit on the bench and sort of remove himself from the mess that is the team, and he'd put the towel over his head like, I don't want to associate with you guys. You guys, I'm above you guys. You're all beneath me. And now it comes all the way to, he had such a hard time last year, such a hard time early this year. Now back to your point, he finally had a breakthrough, breakout, big game. He beat Tom Brady at Tom Brady. He was really good in that game, Cam Newton. And I started thinking, is he just feeling himself now like he's back in charge? Remember, that's his weekly media session. It was not a one-on-one interview.
Right.
This is the one that's going on SportsCenter, right?
Yep.
This is the highlight show interview.
Correct.
That you're forced to do as the face of the franchise every Wednesday.
Quarterback gets up at the big podium.
He gets to the podium. And he has been sitting on a hot seat for about a year and a quarter until this week. And I started thinking, well, is he just sort of back in charge now? Like, I can sort of get away with anything? Am I surprised that he thinks like that? No, because I'm here to tell you a bunch of players
of course
think
they do.
like that.
Yes.
You know it, and
Yes.
I know it, and you definitely know it. But I'm just shocked that he would say it publicly. So, especially in front of the group.
Right.
It wasn't just like he sat down with her one-on-one and she asked him a football question and he started laughing just between the two of them.
Correct.
Although that would have been just as bad, but at least he humiliated her in front of the world, basically.
Of her peers.
And all of her peers. And I thought, does he have a bone to pick with her because maybe she's been too critical of him over this long dry spell dating back to the post-Super Bowl? You know, obviously they lost the game, and then he had the big negative press conference, which I didn't have any problem with, but a lot of people did. And no, he didn't even really know who she was because she confronted him thereafter, and she's been the beat reporter since October, so it's about a year, full year. And she questioned him about why he would speak that way to her, and then she asked him, according to Scott Fowler, who writes a column for the Charlotte Observer, in the end, do you know my name? And he said, no, I don't know your name. I don't know who you are. And it's just hard for me to believe that the face of the franchise, because Shannon Sharpe would be media savvy, but again, you got it. You knew how to play the game off the field.
But they trap skill.
You have to.
They're on the when you travel to go out of town. Those beat writers are on the plane with you.
Sometimes, not always, but sometimes.
Well, I was always on. You didn't travel with the team?
A couple times I did, only because it was to Green Bay and I couldn't get to Green Bay.
Okay.
You know, it's just too hard to fly there, so those are the only 2 times I ever went on the plane. But occasionally that would happen.
But for the most part, Kiz and Woody and Adam Schefter, those guys, they travel with us.
Okay, all right. So the point is, if you're the face of the franchise, you should they're important people to you. You should have some rapport with them. And I assume she's tried to interview him one-on-one before. I assume, and he just blanked her out. And so, again, he didn't seem to have any bone to pick with her. No. There's no negative because he didn't even know who she was.
Right.
So now we're back to Cam Newton after his big new breakout game. He's back, and he's back to doing this because I'm going to bring this up. There's been some kind of cloud over him the whole time, and I can go all the way back to when he won the backup job behind Tim Tebow at Florida. And then remember he got busted for
the computer thing?
Yeah, it was the computer thing where he was charged with felony burglary and larceny and obstruction of justice, and they kicked him out of Florida. He got out of the charges. He did the diversion program.
Right.
And he went to Blinn Junior College and won a national championship. And he goes to Auburn and wins a national championship. But it's always something with his father at Auburn. Then all the stories came out was he paid off the father to go to Auburn. It just seems like some cloud is always hanging over Cam. And I don't get it because he has so much, to your point, he's so important to the league. And this is, it's just shameful that this is the kind, remember, I came up in the 1970s. But in my 20s, this was a battle for women just to get into the locker room.
Yes.
And so many players and players' wives said, no, you can't go in there where so many wives were complaining because the husbands are in some stage of undress, as you know. And when I was with the Cowboys back in the late 70s, they finally decided, okay, let's have an interview room across from the locker room.
Right.
So when the defense comes over, they'll be in robes because they just took their pads off, and then the offense will come over dressed to the nines because they had time to take a shower.
Right.
But everything has to be over there, and it was all so the women wouldn't go in the locker room.
Correct.
But we're all on deadline, so that delayed everybody. It just took forever, and a lot of the players would duck going across the hall of the interview room, especially after a loss.
Right.
So the best way to do the job is you have to go straight in the door after the 10-minute cooling off period, right? And we're on the fly because we're trying to make deadlines, so we want quick interviews as you're getting dressed at your locker.
Or undressed.
Or undressed.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you guys dealt with that. Was that an issue for you?
It wasn't for me, Skip. I understood it was a part of the job, and I tried to make it my business to know all the people because they were there on a regular basis. And I think for the quarterback, that would be very beneficial for you as the face of the franchise to try to remember as many names as you possibly can. And even if you don't, never be disrespectful. Skip, I'm big on respect because I don't ask any more than I'm willing to give. I ask that you allow me to do my job, and in turn, I'm going to, you would want that same reciprocated to you. But for Cam to like, it's funny hearing a woman ask about routes. I mean, it's football. She's a reporter for a football beat reporter for a newspaper that covers football. And if she was a beat reporter that covered baseball, I would expect her to ask a baseball question. So I don't get what he thought was so funny about it, except the fact that she is a female, and female don't talk routes. They talk about wins and losses and my favorite team, and I like Tom Brady because he smiles and all that other foolishness. But she's not like that. She's different. And for her to get into this clearly, and reading I read the Scott Fowler's piece, she's like studies tape.
Yeah,
she knows
she got intrigued by football back. This
Boy,
still faded for me, but Boise State beat my Oklahoma Sooners 43-42. It was January 1st of 2007.
Yeah.
And Statue of Liberty, and she wanted to know, how did that work, Statue of Liberty? And she started to study it, and he pointed out that she spends lots of time sitting with the more thoughtful Panthers trying to figure out the X's and O's.
Right. So she's trying to understand what a three technique is in a defense, which is the under tackle. Skip, I don't think any less of a female because this or that. That's not how my mind isn't wired like that, Skip. I don't. If a reporter came to me and said, "Well, Shannon, what coverage was that?" Or I'm explaining to him and say, do you understand why they call it? If someone says, okay, Shannon, what's cover six? Cover six is quarter halves. Hence, you got quarters on one side, which is cover four, cover two on the back side, which is two. That's why you get six. And then if you say six kick, that means the roll corner, with the cover two side, he's going to press and force you to release. Now, if she would have asked that, I was like, ma'am, come on, you need to come on up here. We need to hire you. But if she wants to be that thoughtful, she wants to take time because she doesn't have to do that. If she wants to take her time, she's willing. Yeah. Because a lot of people, Skip, hey, let me write my little story. Well, Cam needs to understand, she's not his biographer. She's not supposed to write warm and fuzzy stories about him. She's there to do a job. Write about what you see, ask football-related questions, and you answer them to the best of your ability. I don't really think football-related questions are beneath my dignity.
No.
I don't care who asks them.
So here's the final painful PR irony of everything that just happened. Nearly half the humans who watch pro football are female humans.
Yeah.
Aha. Well, wonder how that plays among all those female NFL fans. Not very well.
I just want Cam to get it. I just want him to get it because I know he's smart. He's funny, and I know his dad a little bit. His dad went to Savannah State, graduated a couple of years before I did.
Once tried out for the Dallas Cowboys, but go ahead.
I just want him to get it.
Yep. I just don't know. You would think by 28, I think we've seen enough that he's not going to get it.
It's unfortunate.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, it doesn't surprise me. We have zero tolerance for racism. Anytime someone does anything racist, we call them out on it because that's the only way that you institute change. It's the same way with sexism, and nobody's overreacting. Nobody's being PC. Trust me, if women complained every time someone was sexist to them in this business or any male-dominated business, we would never get any work done. So just wake up a little bit, Cam.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit.
No mercy.
Hey guys, it's Joy Taylor, and before we move on to the next topic, I want to talk to you about ZipRecruiter. In need of great talent for your business, but you're short on time? You don't have to get lost in a huge stack of resumes to find your perfect hire. You just need the right tools, smarter tools. With ZipRecruiter, you can post your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards with just one click. So you can rest easy knowing your job is being seen by the right candidates. Then, ZipRecruiter puts its smart matching technology to work, actively notifying qualified candidates about your job within minutes of posting so you receive the best possible matches. That's why ZipRecruiter is different. Unlike other hiring sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on the right candidates finding you, it finds them. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by growing businesses of all sizes and industries to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/undisputed. That's ZipRecruiter.com/undisputed. One more time to try it for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/undisputed. Now let's get back to the show.
No mercy.
The Cowboys are currently 2-2 heading into their showdown with Green Bay. The Dallas running game, which was ranked second in the NFL last year at this time, is ranked 14th this season. Ezekiel Elliott was asked yesterday about the struggling running game. Let's take a listen.
We're taking a little bit longer to progress this year, and I really don't think it's a bad thing. You know, you'd rather be hitting your stride, you know, mid to late season than, you know, peaking early and you know, not going that, you know what I mean? So it's as long as you hit your peak, it really doesn't matter how long it takes you. You know, you could lose 6 games in this league and still go to the playoffs, and as long as you hit the stride at the right time, then you're good. So, I mean, but there's no panic in this locker room at all.
We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Eric Dickerson. Welcome, Eric.
Yeah, you can laugh now after Sunday.
Can I still laugh?
You laughing at Zeke now? Yeah.
Do you like that Zeke said this?
I like Zeke said that. You know, everybody wants him to mature. That's a sign of maturity. He's right about one thing. The running game sometimes come last. I can think back in 1983, my rookie season. I started out pretty slow. I think I started out with 98 yards, I think maybe 85 yards the next week, another 80 yards. And then by the 4th week, that's when I had my big breakout game, 199 yards against the Jets. So the running game comes sometimes, like I said.
Jets were bad back then, huh?
They were bad. Well, they beat us with that. Even 199 yards.
Wait, how do you remember every one of those numbers? They're like
You remember?
It's just certain numbers. When you're a player, well, you know. You wouldn't know, that's right. But, you know, you just know the numbers you had. And I do like what he said. You know, it takes a while. Jackie Slater said this to me a couple of months ago. He said, Eric,
By the way, Jackie Slater.
Jackie Slater's my offensive line, my offensive tackle at the Rams. We were talking about the running game. He said, Eric, one thing with us, when you got to the Rams, our offensive line had been together 6.5 years. He said, Wendell Tyler had took the blunt of the punishment. Right. So when you got there, we were seasoning off, we ready to go. So most definitely, I liked what he said, I liked how he said it, and he's right. It's nothing to panic about. The Cowboys are 2-2. They're not 0-4, so I don't think it's panic time.
About to be 2-3, but that's neither here nor there. You know, he said, well, if you win 6 games, you can get to the playoffs. Zeke was talking about college. You win 6 games, you get to a bowl. You win 6 games in the NFL, you're not going to the playoffs. He's right, Skip. It's still early. But what's concerning is that on first down, Zeke is 2.5, half of what he was last year. He's 2.8 now. Last year, he was 5.5. And that's the difference because now they're putting the ball forth in Dak to throw the ball a little bit more than they want him to. If I'm Zeke, I'm not concerned about my offense. I'm concerned about my defense because how do I get that better? There ain't nobody that can come in. Now, offense, they're going to pick it up. They can do some things. Maybe not run so much on first down, maybe throw something short on first down to make it 2nd and 5 instead of just trying to hand the ball to Zeke. But what seems that can't be fixed, Skip,
Yep.
unless Randy White and Ed Too Tall or Harvey Martin coming back, is that defense. And Tapper.
Wait, David Irving's coming back.
Well, Charles
Best
Tapper,
pass rusher.
you know, Charles Tapper, you said he had that.
I loved him. Now he broke his foot. Gone.
Okay. Sean Lee, hamstring.
Gone. Not going to play.
Awuzie,
Maybe going to play.
Lewis.
Going to play. Nolan Carroll, going to play.
Woo!
Anthony Hitchens, going to play. No Sean Lee. No hope.
No, don't do that.
No chance.
No, don't do that.
No chance.
You're picking
against Aaron Rodgers, the greatest thrower of the football ever?
I ain't gonna let you do it. I ain't gonna let you do it, Skip.
Well, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm objective.
The running game will get on track, but the question is, if they continue, it might get on track, and Zeke might have to get 25, 30 carries to get his 105, 110 yards. Can you win the game if a team continuously take Zeke away? Do you believe Dak Prescott? You do. And defensive coordinators don't believe that because they're making concerted efforts to stop Ezekiel Elliott. And they're saying, okay, Dak.
No, Shannon Sharpe doesn't believe
No!
it. One-hit wonder, fluke, aberration, flash and pan,
Skip.
Dak Prescott. He said it, I
Not
didn't
true.
say it.
All I'm saying is defensive coordinator, it appears to me, I don't want nobody laughing at me because I'm asking a football-related question, but it appears to me that the defensive coordinators are geared up and said, look, Ezekiel Elliott is the engine that makes this train go. Now, they got a conductor on there. Skip think it's all about him, but it's the train. It's that engine in the train, not the conductor. So until Ezekiel Elliott get to running, Skip Bayless, your team's going to continuously struggle.
Maybe until he drops a couple of pounds.
Stop saying that, Skip.
Why you keep saying he's fat?
I don't like
Is
it.
he heavy?
I don't like. He's a little heavy.
I don't think.
I mean, all that barbecue.
His jersey the other
You
day,
saw
and
that?
I'm like, ooh.
Whoa, you saw
Whoa.
that?
Hey, what do you say? Feed me.
Yeah, I know,
Feed
like
me,
too
feed
much.
me.
No, do it the other way. Unfeed me.
But see, Skip, I thought he meant that feeding the ball. He was eating on the sideline. He was eating on the sideline. That stomach was, I'm like, ooh.
All of which is why I do not like what Ezekiel Elliott said, because I think it reflects a new attitude of these fat cat Dallas Cowboys of mine. And to me, I'm getting sick and tired of this too cool, we got this, above it all attitude of the 2017 Dallas Cowboys, because you don't got this.
They got it.
You got it right between the eyes at Denver, 42-17. You got it right in the behind from the Rams the other day, kicked right in the tail in the second half. You got dominated. Your offensive line got blown off the ball by the Rams' defensive front throughout the second half, just as the way they got it handed to them up in Denver. And Zeke wasn't Zeke in the second half because I think he just ran out of gas because he's toting a couple of extra pounds.
Stop saying that,
And Dez Bryant ain't Dez Bryant anymore. I don't know where he went, but I don't know this guy because every time he tries to catch a pass, it's like this, right? It's not 2016 anymore. And I love this team last year because that team played scared all year in a good way. There's a thing called good scared. It's what Greg Popovich calls appropriate fear. It's when you've lost your starting quarterback and some kid who's a fourth-round pick out of Mississippi State gets thrown into the fire, and everybody sucks it up and takes it up a little higher because you're worried you're going to get blown out when you go up to Lambeau Field to play Aaron Rodgers, when you go to Pittsburgh to play Ben Roethlisberger, and they won game after game because they were afraid they were going to lose game after game. Then we had to go through a whole offseason, and you know how Dallas, Texas idolizes its Cowboys because you played at Southern Methodist University there. They even idolized the ponies in those days, right? They did. It was Dicker James. That's what I called them. Eric Dickerson, Craig James. They were something in those days.
He took a pay cut going to the Rams.
Well, anyway, we
took
talk
a pay
about
cut.
that.
That's true. But the point is, all of a sudden, they started fat-catting because they started hearing how great they were in Dallas, Texas, and they backed it up on opening night because they had one big revenge game. They had to get even with their nemesis. The New York Football Giants beat them twice last year. It was really their only two real losses last year until the playoffs because they mailed in the last game at Philadelphia. So they took care of the Giants, and it was over. It's Super Bowl. Here we come, baby. And then Denver happened. And then they barely survived thanks to Dak Prescott's 3 plays at Arizona on Monday night. And then they just got whomped in the second half by those Rams, who are legitimate, But you played a great first half and a lousy second half. And now it's like, we got this. It's all okay. We're going to be okay. We'll peak a little. When are you going to peak? When you're 2-6? I don't know. Because you're going to be 2-3. I don't see how you can beat Aaron Rodgers without Sean Lee.
Hold on. But what about this? Now, Bravado and Westgate and all these gambling hotels that gambling sets the line said the Cowboys are favored to go to the NFC. They saw that
to the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, excuse me. Yeah. And then Skip Bayless picked the Dallas Cowboys.
I did.
So now you all.
You know what? That doomed me because they said, you know what? We got this.
Now you wonder why
we don't even have to play these games.
Look,
we're just automatically in the Super Bowl.
They're 2-2. I mean, they're 2-2.
Okay.
It's not like they're 0-4 or they're 1-2. I mean,
okay, but who's coming to town?
But still.
He scored 34 the last time he was in town.
What was that?
We scored 31.
What was that? Last year. This is a new year.
That's past tense.
It's past tense. The thing about the Cowboys is that, the defense, they're terrible.
That's what you need to
They
worry
lost
about.
40% of their offensive line. They lost 2 guys, right tackle and left guard. That hurts. Look, when you got a chain's like this.
I agree.
You pull on it.
Okay.
You got some weak links somewhere in that offensive line.
Okay, but I feel like the 3 players ranked in the top 25 of all the NFL players have become weak links because they're getting their butts kicked
But they're still missing 2 linemen. The thing about an offensive line is they make the calls. They make all the calls. You have to get used to one another. So I would say, give him a couple of weeks. He's right about the running game.
I know but if I give him a couple of weeks and they fall to 2-4, you help me out.
So they 3-2, then what? Huh? So they go 4-2.
3-2. I'll take 3-2.
Will you be back on the bandwagon?
I told you they were going to be. When is their bye? They got a bye coming up soon.
After this week.
I told you they'd be 2-3 at the bye. That's what I told you. You didn't want to hear that.
They're 2-2 right now.
But you're telling me that with no Zeke.
The commissioner called again. The commissioner called him again. Hey, Zeke, this is Roger Goodell. Yes, Mr. Commissioner. I ain't forgot about you. Click.
You know what?
You think you're worried about it?
You know what? Maybe he should just go on.
Don't do that, Skip.
Come on, Skip. Come on now.
Swallow it.
Get
it over with.
He might eat more than
I got Alfred Morris. Alfred Morris, he touched the ball one time, goes 70 yards with it.
You hear what ED said? I mean, if you're away from the stadium, ain't no running, more eating. that six pack gonna be like a pony keg.
Yeah.
He got that spade stomach. Now that thing done got hard. He sitting there like this. What you got?
He's hanging with you too much.
No, I eat. No.
By the way, I must say,
hen dog, right?
Even at his greatest, Emmitt Smith he was a little butterball. He had a little
exactly.
Pot. He
so
did.
that didn't hurt him.
I know it didn't hurt him at all.
Emmitt ain't gonna like that.
But he knows it.
You're back on the Cowboys bandwagon.
No. Look, I'm just saying there's no time to panic. You know, my team took care of business last week.
Yeah, Ed, your team took care of business.
You're not panicked at all.
I'm not panicked.
No mercy.
In the first quarter of the Dolphins' Sunday loss to the Saints, Jay Cutler was split out wide on a Wildcat play and appeared to look completely disinterested. He stood there with his hands on his hips, and the play went nowhere. Cutler and Adam Gase talked about it yesterday. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, as soon as he steps forward, they can knock I won't say it, but they can hit him. If he steps back or doesn't move, now you're looking at different kind of penalties. Until you go through it where a quarterback steps off the ball and starts working downfield, and then you watch one of them get blasted. You know, I got a little experience, so I kind of know what I'm doing.
Sit there, don't get hit, don't touch anybody, don't move. And I feel like I executed that one.
Did you give him a hard time at all about the posture on that play?
No. You guys worry about a lot more things than I do.
We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Ray Lewis. Shannon, let me start with you. Does Gase have a point?
No, he don't have a point. And to Jay Cutler's credit, that is the only play he executed that day. I thought Adam.
That's not true.
It is.
That's ridiculous.
What was the score of this ball game, Skip? Refresh the people's memory.
20-0.
So you mean to tell me this man they played a whole game of football, 60 minutes of football?
So you're saying he missed every play that they called? I'm 0 for what, right?
I'm saying he did not execute the offense. If the quarterback, the most important position, the most important player, can't get his team in field goal range?
No, the point is you told me the Saints were going to be historically bad on defense, and now back-to-back weeks they've been really good on defense.
I mean, look at that play.
Huh?
Well, you don't score no points. Hell, I can be good on defense. Yeah. Let me finish my point. First of all, I fought Adam Gase for this. So he should tell you a little something about what he thinks of this offense and Jay Cutler. 4 minutes into the ball game, they running a gadget play with their starting quarterback. Now, have I seen Tom Brady be out there? Absolutely. But I guarantee you they're not running this 4 minutes into the ball game. And then he got his hands on his hips. So that what you diagrammed it. I know he said, look, I don't want you to put yourself in harm's way. I want you to stand there with your hands on your hips and pretend like what? I mean, can you fool them? Make them think that we might throw you a pass and then you throw it down the field? But that'd be asking too much. That'd be too much like right. See, like my grandma used to say, boy, that's too much like right for you to do the right thing. Skip, this is a shit. And you defend this. This is what happens at Vanderbilt. When you go to Vanderbilt, you go to Vanderbilt,
did I defend it?
This is Vanderbilt.
Oh, this is Vanderbilt.
Why should we be surprised?
Did you ever watch Jay Cutler at Vanderbilt when he was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year his last year there? Have you ever seen a tougher SEC quarterback than Jay Cutler was when he was running over linebackers at Florida and Tennessee? Check it out. Pull the tape.
I pulled the tape for the last 11 years that he's been in the NFL. I pulled that tape. You want to see that one?
You don't think he's been tough in the NFL?
Yeah, he ain't won no ball games. I don't want tough. I want winners.
You know what? First of all, when you hear the story now, when you hear Adam Gase talk about this, it's almost crazy that they would come out and say this like right now, like yeah, I told him to stand there and absolutely do nothing. I mean, that just feels so great to people who are actually putting their physical body on the line every play,
right,
to actually go get something done. And if you're Jay Cutler, I just ask you this question: you wouldn't be offended if somebody else put their hands on their hips in the middle of a play? Like it's like if this is Drew Brees, this is Tom Brady, this is anybody else, we're not having this conversation. But for him to carry that posture on a football field, that a live play is being ran. Like you can line up in a wide receiver position. Everybody know how to line up in a wide receiver position.
Exactly. Yeah. Hands on his.
Yeah. I mean, for just for him to take that approach, Skip, you got to actually. If I'm coming back to the huddle, or if I'm on the sideline, I'm like, that's the quarterback of this team.
That's him.
With his hands on his hips. I mean, doing a play that we know, right? What Adam came out and said, we know for a fact, right, that he's saying, look, I told him not to get involved in this play.
Yeah.
I told him not to go hit nobody. I get that. But you can at least act like you're involved, you're engaged, and not on South Beach just hanging out.
Yeah. Defend your guy.
I am not going to defend my guy in the big picture, but in the very smallest picture about this play, they're exactly right, because by the letter of the law, he did what he should have done, which is nothing. Give yourself up before the ball is snapped. Look like you're not involved in the play so that guy can't come and take a cheap shot at you. And you have said, anytime you have a shot at a quarterback on an interception return or whatever, you're going to take that shot, right?
Yeah, but with his hands on his hips, that's
get the wide receiver stance.
All right, just give it up, because even if you retreat on the play like you're going to catch a screen pass, that guy can come and get you. If you take one step across the line of scrimmage, he can come and get you. He can take his shot at you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so clearly Adam Gase had Coach Cutler. Just give it up. And unfortunately, we're all about optics in this business. Optics. And so Jay Cutler fed right into his reputation for he doesn't give a you-know-what about anything.
Yep.
So it fed right in, and so Twitter goes crazy. Did you see Jay Cutler with his hands on his hips? And I will give you this. I'm sure Jay didn't love the play call, because I don't know any quarterback who loves having to trot out there to the flank and even impersonate a wide receiver, because they want to be under center, taking the shotgun snap or the straight snap.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think he loved that play call? What was it, early in the game?
You think all his teammates love him being quarterback?
No. And the truth is, he's starting to look like he had retired.
Yeah.
So psychologically, he looks like his mind retired, and he's trying to get it back. And
even standing out there, you wouldn't be excited for the play to be successful. Wouldn't you want the play to work if you're a quarterback?
Unless you're so proud of being the quarterback that you don't want that play called.
I mean, even if you run over there and let's say a guy breaks and he runs for us. Okay. I mean, you're not running downfield clapping. You're not doing none of that. You're not in the game.
If you run downfield clapping, somebody's going to clap you.
First of all, Skip,
right?
Stop.
Well, am I right? Is somebody going to hit you?
You know what, Ray? I'm gonna tell you. My grandfather used to tell me and my brother. He said, "Boys, y'all ain't got to do nothing. Just don't do it around me."
Boy, you're full of grandfather, grandma.
Jay Cutler, you ain't got to do nothing. Just don't do it out here. You gonna put your hands on your hips. Who haven't been a part of? If you play offense, everybody has been a part of the disguise. With Shannon, you don't have no. But I'm not finna go step.
Right.
Hey, but this is one guy. Don't question his toughness. There were years he was the most sacked quarterback in football, and he just kept bouncing right back up and playing another play.
I don't question his toughness. I question his desire to be great.
I'll give you that.
There are a lot of tough guys but how many of them desire, have that burning passion? You tell me when you've seen that burning desire from him to be great and not just go pick up a check.
I've seen him be great before. I don't know if he had burning desire, but he has greatness in him because he can flat out, he can still
He got a lot of stuff in him.
Yeah.
He got a lot of stuff. You talking one hand. All right, he been great. Dude been in the league 12 years. You count on one hand how many times he been great. What about the time he been yucking it up?
What about the time the coach you love the most, Mike Shanahan, traded up in the draft to take him 11th overall?
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Mike? Huh? Why did Mike trade up to get him?
Because he didn't like the quarterback that he had. He owes it to his football team, to that organization and the fan base to try to find the best 53
So was Mike Shanahan a fool?
No.
No?
But sometimes and I tell people this all the time, you never know what you have in a player till you get him in your building and put him in that uniform. Then you'll find out. And guess what? Mike Shanahan had to find out. Lovie Smith had to find out. What's the other coach? Mark Trestman had to find out. John Fox had to find out.
Jay Cutler made a Pro Bowl for Mike Shanahan.
But think about this, Skip. There's a recurrent.
Well, he did. He made a Pro Bowl.
You're a Jay Cutler fan.
Huh?
He went to Vanderbilt.
My school.
Oh, you went
No.
Here's the thing, though.
Listen, for 2 years when he's at Vanderbilt on the old show I did, I used to say, this guy's going to be able to play in this league, and they just laughed at me. He can't play in the NFL. Oh, no? Watch.
5 coaches.
He's still in the NFL.
5 coaches and 9 offensive coordinators have lost their job. Now, what's the common denominator in all that, Skip? There's a guy that played quarterback at Vanderbilt, been in the league for 12 years.
Do you think Adam Gase is a fool? Think he's an idiot?
If he thought Jay Cutler could come out of retirement and help him get to the playoffs, he absolutely is what you just said.
Did he lose his starting quarterback? Yes, he did.
I don't care. So let me hold on. Matt Moore's been in the league. He took over for what you call him last year. Won a couple of games.
Ryan
Tannehill won you a couple of games. You gonna go get a guy out of retirement that's going to the playoffs one time.
Who had his best year under your tutelage in Chicago 2 years ago.
And the mere fact that you're talking about he had his best year, which was and he didn't even finish the year. But that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about his inability to stay on the field. We're talking about his ability to be consistent, game in and game out, year in and year out. So if Adam Gase thought that guy could come out of retirement and take him to where he needed to be, whatever you said, you asking me, do I think Adam Gase is out of his mind? I absolutely do.
Did you pick the Yankees to beat the Indians?
What does that got to do with him?
It has a lot to do. Who's on the mound for the Yankees tonight? You picked them.
I got the Indians now.
Oh, you changed.
No.
Sonny Gray from Vanderbilt.
I mean,
we got them everywhere. Every time you look up, somebody from Vanderbilt is doing something great in some sport.
You know, I like the name.
So now we're supporting Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
You know what? I like Sonny because we used to have a Hampshire. You know what a Hampshire is?
Yeah.
It's a hog.
Yeah.
Had one named Sonny, weighed about 580 pounds.
580?
Yeah, my grandfather sold him because, he had tusks about this long.
So because of that, you like Sonny Gray from Vanderbilt.
Ever since then, we used to ride
That
Sonny.
makes sense.
Me and my brother used to ride Sonny in the yard.
Could you
So I
stay
like
on Sonny for very long?
Until he started picking up speed. Then he choked us off. But Jay Cutler, Skip, you need to stop this.
I'm not stopping anything. I just
Skip.
told you.
Ray,
You can't defend that. You can't defend that.
I can
That's the
defend
one thing
that.
you
I
cannot
can't
Let me ask
defend.
you a
this
question.
year.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen a guy come out of retirement
Yeah.
in that sport and be successful?
True. No. Once you've been out, once you've given up mentally, psychologically, once you cut the tie, he was done.
It's a different
He was
game.
here.
Especially
different game.
especially a guy that showed you apathy for the game when he played,
Right.
when he was
That you
trained.
already questioned.
Yeah,
Right.
you already.
Right.
So the guy gonna be kicked up with his heels. He out there with sunning it up.
Yeah.
He's like, Jay, we got $5 million for the comeback. Nope. Jay, we got $8 million. Nope. We got $10 million. Nope. Jay, we got $15 million. What I sign?
Right.
And I can just be me. Nobody expect me to do anything. I mean,
Did he force Adam Gase to sign him?
no,
Okay.
no.
But this is Gase's mess now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This was his
Explain
choice.
yourself. If I'm Steven Ross, I call him in the
You
office.
got to live with it now.
I'm calling him in my office. Hey,
I thought you just said it was early. It's too early to panic. You just said that about
Oh, this
my
is not
Cowboys.
changing. This is,
oh,
this is the rest of the season.
No, I ain't panicking. I
is
got
not-
I got
this is
11
not-
years of tape on this.
Oh, okay.
I got 11 years of tape.
No mercy.
NBA.com polled the league's general managers, and they picked LeBron James to be this year's MVP. LeBron got 50% of the vote. Although he has not won an MVP award since 2013, Kevin Durant received the second most votes. We're joined by Rob Parker. Welcome, Rob. Good
What's
morning.
happening? Good morning.
Good morning.
Rob, are you surprised they picked LeBron?
No, I'm not. And actually, I think LeBron will win the MVP.
Now.
Because there's nothing else for him. He realizes that he can't win a title, so this will be his championship.
Get out of here.
Skip, this is where he's going. He's got to hold on to something. You can't rest all the games like he did a year ago. What are you resting for? To get to the NBA Finals for what?
That was the question.
He won't be able to rest. And Shannon, you know this. He has to go out and prove to everybody that he didn't need Kyrie, that he's a great player without Kyrie. That will be his motivation. Kyrie left, and you know what happened? I wound up being the MVP of the NBA. It's all going to be about trying to prove that Kyrie's was wrong to walk out on him, and that he still can play. And why save any energy when you're not going to win the NBA Finals anyway?
First of all, we're talking about he last won the MVP in 2013. 2013, not 2003. Okay?
That's 5 years ago.
Wow.
What happened?
Wow. He won 4 of them in a 6-year span. What happened?
No one's ever won in his 15th season.
But he gonna do it.
Oh.
Nobody's ever thrown 10 touchdowns with no interceptions at age 40. Tom Brady doing it. He shattered the mold. He shattered the mold.
Don't tell me, tell him.
It's early for Brady, trust me.
4-time league MVP. Let's see, 4-time league MVP. I don't really know what he has to prove. 3-time finalist.
Kyrie walked out on him. He had a star player who said, I don't want to play with you.
That's okay. Guess what? LeBron James won those MVPs when Kyrie was in college. You know that? He didn't need Kyrie. Kyrie needed him. That's why Kyrie got, you know who Kyrie got when he was the lead dog at Cleveland? Andrew Wiggins, Deion Waiters, Anthony Bennett. That's who Kyrie got. That's what Kyrie was doing. So, just in case.
I thought this was about LeBron.
Okay, you know what it is. You're right.
He's mad because I brought up Kyrie.
You know what? You're right. They also asked these GMs, they asked a couple of other questions, too. The best small forward, who was that? LeBron. Player that forces opposing coaches to make the most adjustments. You know who was not number 1 in any list, Skip? One Kevin Durant.
You know what's crazy is on that GM question, too, they asked who was the faute, and LeBron's name was on that.
Whatever, Skip.
Finest failure of all
y'all
time.
two, look, I get it. I've been in the business 31 years. Skip, I've been in the business 40 years. Y'all two in cahoots. And then you got Joy, who's been in the business for a decade. All 3 of y'all in cahoots to try to demean and diminish what LeBron has accomplished.
Because you're just a rookie in this business.
Yeah,
so what do you know?
Rookie, yeah.
Right?
But I tell you what, I'm telling you right now, Skip Bayless, you're going to eat those words. So will you, Rob Parker, when he wins the MVP and he wins the finals MVP.
I said he's going to win the MVP.
No, because he's going to win it because he can't win anything else. Let him hang his hat on that.
You know, I could see everybody just handing LeBron one last MVP on career achievement because there's a big sympathy vote out there for LeBron because he's on his way to losing his 6th NBA Finals, and people are just going to say, this poor, pitiful LeBron James, we got to give him something. Just pat him on the head with an MVP this year.
For real?
For real is what you told me yesterday about the Eastern Conference. You said Shannon Sharpe, whose opinion I deeply respect.
Whatever. I know him.
He said the Eastern Conference talent is at an all-time worst. Historically bad Eastern Conference. All the superstars have vacated to the Western Conference. Left is only LeBron and Kyrie. That's about it. Period. End of story. So how can you push for that man to win an MVP in that conference? Because it's just too easy. You're disqualified. Your degree of difficulty is too easy.
They're still professionals.
Oh, they're still professionals.
400.
Really?
There are 400 of the greatest players ever in the NBA. Now, most of the talent is in the West. Okay, Skip, I give you that.
That's why the league changed the All-Star game because they couldn't even accumulate enough players to make up a team.
You're disqualified. You cannot win MVP out of the Eastern Conference. And by the way, now odds-on favorite for MVP, LeBron James, for 3 straight years, the last 3 years, he deferred to Kyrie because he needed a closer.
No, he didn't.
He has no clutch gene. He said, you do it for me. So
Stop
now
saying
that Kyrie is gone, you're saying, oh, it's okay now. We'll make LeBron the MVP. Really? The same guy who shot a career low from the free throw line, 67%? That's just pathetic.
And had a career
That's so
high.
Beneath him.
And Skip, LeBron, this is what we know. He's the most unselfish, mega superstar that's ever played the game. For him to say, you know what, Kyrie, I got no problem.
That's not being unselfish. That's just being pathetic. Like, I can't do this, you do it.
Skip.
That's not unselfish.
We saw the man average a triple-double in the finals. We see a man lead the entire finals.
He can stuff that stat sheet like nobody. You know it and I know. I give you that.
Did Jordan stuff the stat sheet like that? Why couldn't he?
He stuffed the mantle with trophies. That's what he
Bill,
stuffed.
he ain't got more than Bill. He ain't got more than Bill.
Well, he didn't play as long as Bill did. And
Bill Russell played 13 years. Michael Jordan played 16.
And Bill played in the league with 8 teams.
I don't care if he had 2 teams. So he beat that team 11 times.
So how well does LeBron James in his 15th season play defense? Like not? He just doesn't play anymore. And I don't blame him.
How well was Michael Jordan playing defense in year 15?
He was really good.
Stop playing, Skip.
In year 13, he could really play defense because they shut everybody down.
LeBron James was all the NBA defense in year 13. What that got to do with anything, Skip?
LeBron stayed 3 years at North Carolina, so he got a later start.
Jordan, right?
I mean, sorry.
Right.
Why did he come out to the NBA?
So you
He
realize
straight out of high
in the
school.
same poll that the GMs were asked, who's the best defender in the NBA? It was Kawhi Leonard in a
Why are we talking about Kawhi?
Wait a second. Then best perimeter defender, Kawhi Leonard in a landslide. And I look at PER, player efficiency rating, for just last season, regular and playoffs. Number 1 in the playoffs was Kawhi Leonard, who had his team up 23 in Game 1 on Golden State, who just wiped out your team in the finals. And Kawhi was 3rd in the regular season in PER behind Russ and KD. And I'm saying he is now positioned to win MVP this year. Last year was his breakout year, and he's just figuring out how to play basketball now. Let's watch Kawhi win MVP this year.
Man,
Who is the best two-way player in basketball? Michael Jordan says it's Kawhi. Reggie Miller said it was Kawhi. Steve Kerr said it was Kawhi. On and on. Everybody said the best two-way player is Kawhi Leonard.
Man, you know what? I just had.
Who is also the closer.
No, I had Nicole Murphy's number, and I had it, and I accidentally erased it.
Really?
That ain't got nothing to do with
She wouldn't take your call
She
anyway.
would take my call. You better Skip. Best small forward, best passer, best leader, most versatile, best basketball IQ, player that forces opposing coaches to make the most adjustments. Where is Kawhi Leonard? Does he not play?
Another category was toughest player in the NBA, and Kawhi tied for the lead with Draymond. And where's LeBron on that list? Tough? Nobody says LeBron's tough.
When has the guy missed a game because of injury?
He's an Iron Man.
No, he has not. You know, we take a break. You know, sometimes y'all be asking too much. The fans be belly aching talking about. Y'all got to realize it's a privilege.
Don't you remember what game did you go to and buy $500 tickets and he didn't play that game?
The Clippers.
Do you remember that game?
The Clippers.
And were you not hot?
I was upset because I bought $3,000 shoes. I call him Little LeBron. Y'all too. You know what?
I thought we weren't talking about all your shoe buying problem anymore.
I ain't bought no more.
Oh.
Have you stopped?
Y'all, you know what?
You know
all
what?
three haters.
I give up. Give it to LeBron because he needs it.
No,
he's going to lose a
He going to take
NBA
it.
He's
final.
going to get it. He's going to get it.
No mercy.
Next up in the same survey, 62% of the GMs polled picked Steph Curry as the league's best point guard. Reigning MVP Russell Westbrook came in second, way behind Steph, with only 28% of the votes. Shannon, do you agree with the GMs here?
No.
No.
Now I can see last year, Skip, because Steph came off a year in which he won the unanimous MVP. So him being voted best point guard or top point guard, I got no problem with that. But a guy that averaged 31, 10, and 10 won the MVP, and he's not the best? Steph Curry's only finished once in the top 5 in assists. Russ has done it 3 times. Russ does everything for the Thunder. He led them in rebounds, led them in assists, led them in points, probably led them in minutes. But I don't, what am I missing here? I mean, I'm not saying Steph is not a great player because he is. But neither one are prototypical, Skip. So let's just go ahead and set that aside. Both of them are.
Give me a definition of prototypical point guard.
I'm looking like a Magic Johnson or a John Stockton, a guy that is a pass-first point guard.
Jason Kidd.
Okay.
Steve Nash.
Yeah, even Isaiah was a guy that. John Wall. When I think of point, I'm thinking John Wall. He averaged 23 and 10, but.
I'm thinking more Chris Paul.
Chris Paul
of today's.
Yes.
Okay,
but most of the point guards today are 2 guards masquerading.
Correct.
What are they looking at? What did I miss? And by this wide of a margin, I mean, the guy just averaged a triple-double. You just saw what he did. He won the MVP. You saw what he did in the finals. He's on the court. They're in the ball game. He leaves the court. Either the gap gets larger or they gain no ground. I get it. He shoots them into a lot of ball games. He shoots them out of a lot of ball games. But Skip, I don't know about this one now. I'm gonna have to disagree with the GMs, and I think they got it right with LeBron. Let me see what they have there, bro.
Wait, now they're dumb, right?
No, I ain't say that. Player that forces the opposing coaches to make the most adjustments. That was LeBron. Best passer, Lebron.
Wait,
best
I
leader.
thought we were on a new.
Hold on, I'm just trying to figure it. Most versatile, best IQ.
Forgot.
Yeah. I had to
You
get
gotta
it
get it again.
But no, Skip, I got it.
I like it how Steve Owens typed.
Don't do that. Don't worry about
Look
what
at
I got
those.
about to stop
They're
cheating.
typed up. I have to scribble all over these sheets.
Is that what you did at Vanderbilt? Did you cheat? Did you
scribbled.
cheat off that young lady's
never
paper?
cheated off
Yeah, you did.
anybody's
Wrote everything down. They say you turned the paper and had the girl's name on it. You cheated so hard.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
I disagree, Skip, because after a 31-point triple-double for an entire season and winning the MVP, they ain't giving Russ no respect. No, I'm disagreeing.
So, once upon a time before Steph's draft, I fought for Steph being the first overall pick over Blake Griffin, and everybody just laughed and laughed at me. I got ridiculed on the old show for that one. That little skinny kid from Davidson who's just a gunner? Yeah, but he's got skills.
Oh, yeah.
He can turn into, he wasn't really a pure point at Davidson,
Nope.
but I thought he could turn into a very good point guard in pro basketball, and he did. But is he Magic or Stockton or Jason Kidd or Steve Nash or Bob Cousy, if you will? Nope, he's not that guy. He doesn't have that gift because you can't teach it, you can't coach it, you are gifted with it.
Right.
And guess who was born with it? Your guy was.
Yes.
Your guy's got the gift. When he decides to play point guard, which is more often than not, he's the best point guard in basketball. He still is.
Yes.
Until the regular season starts, because there's a guy on the Lakers now who's going to quickly become the best point guard, pure point guard in basketball, and his name is Lonzo Ball. And he's going to revolutionize this game. He is. I've never seen anything like it.
We're talking about right now.
Okay, I am. Is he eligible?
Hold on.
Is he going to play this year for the Lakers?
You're gonna sit in that chair and fix your mouth to say Lonzo Ball
is the best point guard. Yep, the best pure. If we're talking by your definition of distributing the basketball, making teammates better, nobody's going to be in this guy's league. LeBron could be if he chose to be, but he doesn't need to be.
Yes,
That's not.
He's going to need to be.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Well, he's going to have to. He does everything. He's going to score. He's going to rebound. Lonzo is going to pass the basketball. He's unselfish to a fault. They have to just beat on him to take shots, wide open shots.
Have you seen him shoot?
Yeah.
Well, he should be a passer.
Wait until he gets going. Yeah, I saw him shoot in the summer league when he was the MVP of the summer league, because once he's heated up from three, he can really heat up. Did he not heat up at UCLA from three?
I was the MVP of the YMCA.
So now you're comparing Lonzo Ball in the Pac-12 to the YMCA?
I said summer league. That's what you said.
Summer league.
Was he the MVP of the Pac-12?
I don't know. Do they have MVP?
Markelle Fultz.
Yeah. I don't like Markelle
Fultz. The guy
Fultz.
from Oregon was.
Yeah. Markelle Fultz, what were they, like 2-19 or whatever? I know he's hurt, but.
Yeah, I can't even believe you're going to even fix your mouth to say, you're going to say a rookie.
I've already seen it. The best pure point guard, I know Chris Paul is really good, but he doesn't have this gift that this kid has. He's going to be the best. He'll be right away. I've already seen it in the
He's not going to be the best.
Game. Yeah, he will.
No, he won't.
Sorry, I already saw it.
You're not sorry.
I'm on the record. I'm saying he will quickly become the best pure point guard in basketball. Will be Lonzo Ball.
Skip. See, I should have never said pure. And all I've said basically is that neither one of these guys are prototypical. The question is, who's the better of the 2 point guards? I'm disagreeing with the general managers because those are our two choices. Now, you threw this caveat in there talking about, okay, the best pure. No.
Do I think Steph is a better passer than Russell Westbrook? Yeah, he is. But I can't argue his assists because he's a career 7 assists a game guy, which is not even as good as LeBron is for his career.
You seem surprised by that.
Huh?
That's why they voted him best passer.
Okay, I said it, but
But
Lonzo's not in that group yet.
Who forces people to make the most adjustments? That ain't Kawhi.
You forgot that.
That ain't Kawhi.
Yeah.
That ain't Kawhi. Yeah. Skip, you need to stop. There's no way between here and God's green earth and in heaven that Lonzo Ball will be better than the top 5, top 6 point guards in the NBA. He's
We're
not
just talking about passing the basketball?
No!
Who will be the best passer in basketball?
LeBron still will.
You've already seen it. You know it and I know it.
The general manager said LeBron.
Okay.
Okay.
But Lonzo didn't count yet. He wasn't actually.
Well, why you putting him in this one?
Because I'm just telling you what's about to happen. The season starts in less than 2 weeks.
You know what?
Okay, I said it, and I'm going to stand by it.
I'm about to win the lottery. I'm going to go buy me a house in Malibu.
Really?
No, I'm not, and you need to stop that foolishness.
I'm not. It's not foolishness.
Skip.
I told you what was going to happen this summer league, and he won the MVP.
Okay, how about this here? Of those two guys, which of those two that's on the screen is the better of the 2 point guards?
Point guard Steph is. Russell is just by accident he gets assists. He's just going to.
What you mean by accident?
It's by accident. He realized, oh, I can become an even bigger star if I attack the rim, I draw 2 to me, and then I just leave the ball on the floor for Steven Adams to dunk it or Enes Kanter to dunk it.
Skip.
That's how he did it.
An accident is leaving your briefcase in the back of the rental car. An accident is leaving your iPad in the back of the seat on the plane.
Do you like Russell Westbrook as a distributor, as making teammates better? Does he make teammates better? No.
What you mean?
He can make Russ better.
I mean, Steven Adams got that money and went back to New Zealand and built him a big crib.
Yeah.
I need him to play. If Steven Adams played like he did to get that big contract, they'll be fine with the new pieces.
Okay, this year, which NBA player will most make his teammates better?
LeBron.
False.
LeBron.
Lonzo.
When has LeBron not made them better?
Yeah.
When Lonzo gets that team to the NBA Finals, like LeBron did with some mop buckets and squeegees, then you and I will talk.
They had some pretty good players.
Don't do that, Skip Bayless.
I'm doing it.
Don't do it.
Ilgauskas was pretty good.
He had bad.
Larry Hughes was an all-star.
Larry Hughes, really?
Yeah. I just said it. He was an all-star. Well, come on.
You an all-star?
Don't dismiss it. Well, somehow LeBron got a team that was top-heavy as you know what, all the way to the finals.
It was, and that's what happened. Their bench.
Then wait a second. You have a chance to make it a real series?
Oh, my goodness.
What happened?
What happened was the closer couldn't close because he went 0 for 7 from 3.
Oh, so wait. LeBron James, who you're pushing for MVP, the best passer in basketball, had the ball in his hands 4 of the last 5 times with a 4-point lead and a minute and a half left in his house.
Who bricked
and
the
you
3?
Can't close that?
Let me ask you a question.
Wow.
Who shot the air ball on the 3? Who was 0 for 7 from 3?
Who ran from the free throw line? LeBron James.
LeBron he's the best passer.
Who bricked the 3? I guess it's Kyle Korver because he kicked it out to Kyle Korver.
A wide open court.
When he had Iguodala at a disadvantage in the lane.
And nobody had a higher percentage from that corner of the 3.
Pathetic.
That corner.
This guy's going to be MVP?
Gonna be.
Shameful.
He's already is an MVP
Shameful.
4 times.
What's he going to do? Shoot like 59% from the free throw line? It's okay, LeBron.
You know what?
We give you a pass for that.
He going to shoot 59% from the field.
Yeah, he might.
Ain't no Mike.
Yeah.
26, 10, and 8.
Yeah.
Book it.
Yeah. He's
got, MVP.
Yeah, he's got all those geriatric teammates, so he doesn't have any help, right?
Don't worry about it.
Huh?
I'm gonna be right there with him when Adam Silver had him that trophy.
Really?
In game 1 of the finals.
Yeah.
Hand it to him.
Yeah.
What you gonna say then?
You're gonna drive his float, right? Right?
We going to the finals. We're gonna get them this year.
You're going to the finals, but you're going to lose again?
Well, Golden State might not be there. They're gonna have to navigate that tough West.
Really?
Yeah, so we hoping they're gonna get chopped up.
So
Minnesota,
who do you think
OKC.
might be there?
I know who won't be there.
Wait, maybe the MVP will be there.
No, Broccoli. No, Broccoli ain't gonna make it. Broccoli ain't making the list. At the reception. No Broccoli at my reception. Joy.
Well, why are you leaving all your electronics on planes? You'd be more responsible.
I did it twice.
Twice?
Twice. What? I thought they would return it. They talk about lost and found. We didn't find it. You're lying.
Nobody's giving you back an iPad. It's a free iPad.
I can't believe they would do that to me.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.